Hello again, it's Tanya with Tinkering and Ink with Tanya, and I am back with my last of my holiday woodblock dies videos. I got this beautiful die set from Spellbinders to make some projects to share with you, and there are a variety of sentiments included in this die set. They're all Christmas related, but they are gorgeous. The detail is amazing. This one I'm going to simplify things a little bit. I am using pattern paper, which I tend to hoard. I do actually really enjoy making my own backgrounds, so I struggle to use pattern paper. This came with a Spellbinders Kit of the Month kit, this pattern paper, from back in like November or December, and I've been hoarding it. It's pretty lightweight paper, so I tend to add a little bit of 80-pound cardstock behind it to add a little more heft to it, just because that's how I prefer my cards to feel. Not everyone has that issue. I like mine to feel very substantial. Again, personal preference. I'm adding a layer of coaster blank behind that for some dimension. And this is going to be an A2 card, a 4¼ by 5½ inch. And this is a piece of wood grain cardstock. There are oodles and oodles of companies that create this. This happens to be some retired stuff from Stampin' Up. And I am taking a piece of metallic gold or copper colored, I think it's gold, foil cardstock. I think it's a Tim Holtz pack. I'll have it linked in the description box below, along with all the other supplies used in this card. And I'm layering that up. I did cut the center out just because I can't waste the metallic paper. It's just behind this block. I had also die cut the Joy woodblock die in coaster blank and the metallic cardstock. I'm just going to layer those up. I'm not doing anything else special with these. I like the extra dimension added by coaster blanks. These easily glue together, especially when you use the Barely Art Precision Glue, which is the perfect consistency to put tiny little dots that you don't even have to dab off. It is just the right amount of glue, and it gives you just enough time to wiggle it, and then it dries and has a superior hold. I made a bunch of the little poinsettias that I die cut. It's the flower and the leaf is the same die. There's two sizes, a smaller and a larger. And I'm going to use the larger of the layers in green and one in red, and then the smaller one for the red top layer to create a nice full poinsettia. Just going to glue those all together. I think I end up making 4 of these for the card. Again, just going to layer them up. This is just, I'm not even sure, it's probably some Stampin' Up cardstock, but any red and green that you have will look beautiful. And this die creates some scoring in the petals to create the lovely veined detail that poinsettias always have. And that's one step. You just run it through the die cutting machine and it cuts it out and creates those little embossed details or scored details in the cardstock for you. And it's awesome that it has this center circle cut out. So if you wanted to use a brad as an accent, you could use that. And you wouldn't have to poke a hole in. And it's super easy to get it all lined up. I did fiddle a little bit with the placement of the poinsettias. And I wasn't even sure how many I was going to use until I had all the layering done. It's been really a joy to be able to use just one kind of adhesive. I'm layering this all up. I'm going to use my T-square to make sure that it is nice and straight. With that pattern background, it's a little tough to eyeball it. It's a little distracting. It's beautiful. There's some really lovely metallic foiling in that pattern paper also. ultimately, I believe I put 3 of these little poinsettias in the top corner of that square. I'm going to adhere 2 of them with glue. And the last one in that corner, I'm going to adhere with a little piece of the coaster blanks on the back, just so that it is a little higher than the other 2 and can overlap a little bit. Coaster blanks are very thin, like I think 1/16 of an inch thick, very thin, adds a little bit of dimension without a whole lot of bulk, and they're very lightweight. I do also have a link in the description box below showing where I get my coaster blanks. They are super handy and very economical. They do take up some space in your craft room though. The finishing touch that I'm going to add to this card is I'm going to use some Nuvo crystal drops in copper penny in the centers of each of those poinsettias. You could use another color if you like. I don't have a nice yellow, so I'm not using yellow, but copper coordinates very well with the paper, metallic paper that I used on this card already. Be sure you let this dry for at least 24 hours before you try to mail this, although Christmas cards that you're creating at this time of year should have plenty of time to dry. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this card. Make sure you hit the subscription button if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and give me a like. Leave me a comment. I love to hear from you. And thank you to everyone who uses my affiliate links. Very much appreciated. Bye-bye.